welcome back to another episode of Pixel Vault from MBit. My name is Matt White, and as always, we're going to be talking about retro gaming. But today, we are focusing on gaming accessories of the 80s and 90s that were, let's say, ridiculous. The 80s and the 90s, the golden age of gaming. But while you were blasting around as Mega Man or trying to save a princess as Mario, some companies were thinking, do you know what gamers really need? Ridiculous accessories that barely work. So let's start with the most infamous of them all, the Power Glove. Nintendo and Mattel decided that we were ready for VR-style motion control in 1989. Spoiler alert, we weren't. This thing was meant to let you control things with your hands, but in reality, it barely worked and actually just turned out to be a fashion accessory for tech nerds. Nintendo was all about innovation, but here's something that they never made. The Roll and Rocker was by LJN, yes, those same people that made those terrible licensed games, and it was supposed to be a hands-free controller. Stand on it and you'd lean to try and move your character. The problem? It barely recognised any movement at all. Actually, what ended up happening was you just fell over. Are your fingers too slow for Super Mario Brothers? Well, Playtime product had the answer, the Speedboard. You basically slam your controller into the plastic holder and just mash those buttons like a maniac. But hey, if you wanted to look like a competitive speedrunner before speedrunning was actually a thing, this was probably for you. Get this. In 1994, somebody thought, what if gamers could feel the action to make it more realistic? Well, enter the Aura Interactor. This was basically a wearable vest that you put on, and then you could feel punches or gunshots or explosions. Sounds incredible, right? Well, in reality, it was more like being punched in the back by your angry little brother. It was painful, it was heavy, it was completely unnecessary. But hey, at least it worked, unlike the Power Glove. So Sega saw Nintendo's Power Glove and just went, hold my Genesis. They introduced the SEGA Activator, a full-body motion controller that was supposed to turn your living room into a fighting arena. So in theory, you'd punch and you'd kick and your character would mimic the actions that you made. In reality, you just look like a male-functioning robot while your character barely moved. And for $80 in 1993, no thanks. So that's the end of this episode of the Pixel Vault from MBit. But listen, if you've had any of those gaming accessories and you thought they were actually all right and you're angry at us for saying, there's a comment section below. Make sure you tell us what's what. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.